Hello, everybody. My name is Karim. I'm the Chief of Cybersecurity for StreamScan. And my experience and expertise include incident response, mainly ransomware attack. I'm also specialized in intrusion detection and prevention system and network security monitoring to detect attacks and to help company to block them to avoid such kind of intrusions.
Thank you so much. My name is Karen Brisson, so I'm the Director of Growth and Sales Strategy. So I'm very implicated that everything is a little bit about defense, aerospace, critical infrastructure sector, and also with the certification CMC and PCCSC. So just for us who doesn't know StreamScan, I'm going to just explain who are we. So StreamScan is a professional cybersecurity firm committed to offering the most comprehensive suite of service to our client. With a team of 30 experts at your disposal, we tailor your solution to meet your needs. And we're also leveraging cutting-edge proprietary AI-driven technology, and we provide active threat detection and rapid response. So to know a little bit more about our history, so StreamScan's journey began in 2011 with a focus on incident response services. It was only by working directly on the field that we realized that companies, even those equipped with advanced technologies and processes, continue to be compromised. So this insight led us to commit to research and development, so to creating technologies and services tailored to the real world cyber threat that we were seeing on the field directly. So it started in 2014 that we formally launched our R&D program and filed with the US patent for AI model. So 3 years later, in 2017, our first proprietary technology went live, and we are proud to say that the Canadian government has recognized the technology for its innovation. And we simultaneously establishing our Security Operations Center in 2017 to deliver fully integrated proactive cybersecurity service. So since then, we also continue to broaden our cybersecurity offering to ensure comprehensive suite for a client. And from the one since 2011, we maintain our incident response practice, which has shaped our operational methodology that ends on experience keep us attuned in the real world threats and full continuous improvement and for processes. So you can say that today, this enabled to say that StreamScan can meet the 3 core needs that any organization may have. The first one is strategic. So from certification and sector-specific compliance to tailor security strategy depending on the sector that you are into. We also implicated about everything operational. So by monitoring the client asset 24/7, we providing comprehensive suite of cybersecurity services that elevate your maturity posture. And also technical responsive 24/7. So through our incident response practice, which we've continuously upskilled since 2011. So by covering all those pillars, we can see that StreamScan remain at the forefront of innovation and new methodology, delivering real-time, also best services to our client. So currently we maintain 2 certifications. So where most typically Security Operations Center, all just 1. So by the end of 2026, the StreamScan will also achieve the CMC Level 2 certification to meet the sector-specific compliance requirement for defense market client who rely on our technology. So this commitment just will help to narrow their audit scope, deliver peace of mind, and also underscore our dedication to both the industry and the client for a long-term partnership. We're also very proud to say that we are 100% Canadian company that designed and developed its own technologies and expertise in-house. We're a proven solution trusted by the most critical sector, so especially defense and infrastructure, and stand toe-to-toe with the leading American offering on the market. So we're just entering into the subject of this main webinar. So we're going to start with the submission. So what is mission? So the Security Operations Center, it serves as a strategic heart of the organization's cybersecurity. So it continuously aggregates data from all systems. It can identify also prioritize threat, coordinated response, and also all in the purpose to minimize the business impact. So beyond the 24/7 monitoring, or Security Operations Center conduct proactive vulnerability on. So they refine the playbooks for consistent incident and deliver compliance reports and also executive dashboards. So by working closely with the IT team, also legal sometime, and the business team, it turns every incident into an opportunity to strengthen the company resilience and maturity in this evolving landscape. So when it comes to choosing, so when you decide to move forward to having a security operations center, you need to take in consideration several deployment model. So we have three models that we see on the market. The first one is the hybrid SOC. So it combines internal and external resources. This is pretty ideal for large businesses who already have an in-house cybersecurity specialist, but want to augment their capabilities. We also having the internal SOC, so fully managed on your own team and also can offer complete control and direct oversight. Or you can also fully outsource it. So it can just entrust entirely to an external provider who is very having this niche expertise. So we can deliver in Turkey security operation without the need to hire or train staff internally. So the good answer is there no right approach. Choosing the right SOC for your business is a strategic business decision, not only a simply question of a company size. And before making your choice, be sure to consider factors such as required expertise, as we see there, human resources, their response time, integration complexity, and overall cost, which can vary significantly between internal, hybrid, or fully outsourced. So the one that we see the most common is the outsourced one, and for multiple reasons. So you need to take in consideration when it comes to building your own internal SOC, it means that you need to assemble and train a team of specialists to provide a true 24/7 coverage across diverse skill set. You need also to developing documents and also processes that you need to test to ensure operational effectiveness. You need also to invest in the right technologies. So especially if you don't have your own proprietary tools, you need to understanding which technology on the market that you need to responding to your own environment. Also, you need to maintain continuous training program for your staff because the technology continue to evolving. And also you need to address numerous other logistical and governance consideration. So all of these things that when you go fully operational, by contrast, outsourcing your SOC gives you immediate success to mature expertise. So proven processes, integrated trail intelligence, so you can be protecting your organization in 1 month instead of try to bring your own internal one can take something around 6 to 1 year instead of few months to put in place. And there's a lot of advantages of outsourcing. So first one, you have the lower cost. So outsourcing the pool of human and technical resources, making the service more affordable than running an in-house. So you can avoid the time and expense on recruiting and training expert internally. This is some cost that sometimes we forgot, but this is real internal cost that we need to take in consideration. It gives you also access to leading expertise in technologies. So the provider can maintain experienced team with ongoing training and deploy the most advanced tool on the market for optimal monitoring and response. You are sure to have a 24/7 monitoring and response. So having an external deliver around the clock coverage which means to be challenging for smaller organizations to sustain internally. Sometimes we can see an IT team internally into business that they have 1 or 2 person in charge of IT. And so you can have some setting the log just ad hoc and not 24/7. So it can be a problem at the end. And you can have an enhanced threat intelligence. So drawing on experience across many clients and outsource SOC can offer superior threat feed integration and better anticipation of emerging attacks. This is one very important point. Also, it can give you flexibility and scalability. So the service can adapt to evolving needs under a clear service level agreement. And also you have a strong return on investment, both. So by preventing costly incident and minimizing downtime, just outsourcing your SOC you can deliver high ROI for a modest operational outlay just by the expertise that you need to put on place, also the other formation for your expertise to keeping them with the evolving threats. So just before entering to the subject, I will let my colleague Karim explaining which type of expertise that we can find into a security operations center.
Thank you, Karen. In talking about the security operations center, mainly you will see people working there having some difference in terms of experience and expertise. Level one is for junior guys. They are starting cybersecurity, maybe 6 months to 1 year of experience. And the job is to check the cybersecurity alert and event and to detect this the small case that they can fix. Like they will use what we call a playbook, which is a report showing the kind of cybersecurity incidents that they can handle. And after that, they just check on the playbook to say if they face this kind of incident, they have to react as expected. We see what job we have to do. And if they see that the incident is more complex than what they can do, they'll have to take it and to push it to another one, which will be a level 2 cybersecurity analyst. And for example, such an example of cybersecurity attacks that level 1 the guy can handle, it is what we call here a brute force attack. In a brute force attack, we have someone using a tool, and the tool will start generating randomly username and password, and after that the tool will try them to see if one of them is on your network. If this is okay, the brute force attack tool will allow the bad guy to your network because they find a password which is valid on your network. This is what kinds that the level 1 guy will have. So that if this is a brute force attack, you know what you have to do to fix it. And mainly in this case, the reaction or the recommendation for the level 1 guy will be to block the remote IP address which is trying to do the brute force attack. After that, for complex case, they will be forwarded to the level 2 guy. The level 2 cybersecurity analysis in the SOC job is to do a deeper investigation. It work on the case which are more complex than what the level 1 guy can handle. And it will sometimes it will download this a malicious file. It will try to reproduce the ways that the attack is occurring, and at the end, you have to conclude if he thinks that the attack is a real case or if it is a false positive. And if he's doing his analysis and he sees that maybe it is more complex than what he can do, he have to forward the case to a level 3 analyst who have a more experience on working on such kind of case. And just to give you an idea, in most of the company on the market, the IT company doing cybersecurity monitoring will have level 1 and level 2 guys. And after that, if you want to have more experience or more expertise in terms of cybersecurity monitoring, you have to move to cybersecurity company who have level 3 or level 4. To give you an example of which kind of incident or alert level 2 guy can handle, this is a real case. A company in Montreal area, they open a new position, and they receive some resume coming from LinkedIn and other place. And one of the person who have to check the resume down is saw a spam, an email on a spam, and the email is containing a file which is like a resume. And this person tried to open the file, but every time that he tried to open the resume, the antivirus on the machine block it and is unable to open that. After that, he called the cybersecurity team because something is wrong. And in such kind of a case, when a level 2 guy have to monitor it, the first thing that he will do will be to take the file and to upload it in platform like Virus Total. For people knowing Virus Total, it is a sandbox. It is a platform in the cloud where you can take a file which seems to be malicious. You upload the file on Virus Total, and Virus Total will analyze it using a lot of antivirus, sometimes 50 antivirus or more than that. And the file will be submitted to each of them. And after that, each antivirus will give a verdict. And the verdict can be the file is malicious or not. In this case, when the level 2 guy submit the file to Virus Total, is saying that no antivirus detected as malicious. And in such kind of case, the level 2 guy can just assume that the file is clean because no antivirus detect it. And in such kind of case, he will just talk to the person who is trying to open the file. He will just tell him that the file is okay, you can open it. But if this guy did do it, it can lead to an attack because the file is really malicious. But if you are working with a SOC which have a level 3 analyst on the team, the guy from the level 2 will just transfer this file to the level 3 guys which have more experience to analyze such kind of case. And for level 3 guys, it is like people having, I will say it is senior guys. They know, they used to do some investigation. They know how to do deep investigation, including downloading the thread, running them on the sandbox, doing some reverse engineering of malware. I will say people having 5 years of experience and more in terms of cybersecurity analysis. And the job is really to take the case which are more complex that cannot be handled by level 2 guys and to work on that to conclude if they think that it is a real attack or if it is a false positive. And most of the cybersecurity company will have level 1, level 2, and level 3 guys. They don't have to go to level 4 because level 4 is available only on company like StreamScan who create our own cybersecurity product, because working on level 4 need you to have more experience to create what we call cybersecurity signature or creating AI model to help the cybersecurity tool to become better. And in this case, the level 2 guys think that the file is clean, but he thinks that maybe he have to send it to another guy to do a deeper investigation. When you send the same resume to the level 3 guy, he will check to ensure that everything is okay. And in each file, like a Word file, Excel, or PDF file, when you go to the properties on the file, you will see some option like target. In files, target is an option that is set, and you can just add something. It can be a program, it can be a code, something like that. But when you try to open the file, what will be called is the command that is insert in the target part of the file. In this case, when the level 3 guy do his investigation, is doing his investigation, he will see that there is a command which you are seeing in red here. And what this command is doing is every time that you are trying to open the file, it will run a program which will connect remotely to an external system. And after that, it will download the file, and the file will be run on your device. And this kind of thing will be seen by the level 3 guys. And after that, he will say, okay, so this is something which is malicious. He will take the same command in red here. He will run it on a sandbox to understand what is the behavior of the file. If the malicious program is installed, what level of access it will give to the remote guys, and so on. And this will help him to come with a global view of the threat and come with a right recommendation to detect and block it. And just for your information, if in your network you have just antivirus, you cannot detect this kind of attack because the antivirus will only check the files. A file can be clean, but when you try to open it, it can run another malicious code which is malicious, because this is the reason why today, to be able to detect and block most of the attack, we are advising you to don't just use antivirus, but you have to move to EDR, because the EDR technology have the capability not only to analyze the files, but we can also analyze the process and the commands that are running on the machine. And if we see that even if a file is clean, and when the file is running, the EDR shows that there are some command going outside, like the network is under a scan, something like that, the EDR will just kill the process which is running on this program, and this will help you to detect and block the attack which is occurring. It is very important today to just move to EDR and not just rely on antivirus to protect your network. Level 3, level 4 analysts are people, I would say, who have experience in creating signature and AI model to detect more complex attacks. And most of the time, if the level 3 guys cannot come with a right analysis about an attack, they will send it to the level 4 guy, and this guy will take it, he will run it in a sandbox, and he will understand the global view, the behavior of the threat, and come with the right way to detect and block it. And in the market, as I'm saying, most of the SOC have level 3. And if they face a new case that the level 3 guy cannot handle, they will just send it to the company who create the product. And this company, most of the time, what I'm seeing by experience, you are talking with a big player on the market, because you are a small company, they never answer you, or they can answer you maybe 1 or 2 weeks later. And sometimes this is too much, and this can lead to an intrusion on your network. You have to be able to just take the right decision very quickly when you face this kind of attack. This is the reason why, as a SOC and as an incident response company, we saw that it's very important to have internally in our team people having the skill to be able to do deeper investigations that level 3 guys cannot do. And just to give you an idea between experience for level 3 or level 4 guys, in this slide, what we are seeing in the obfuscated part, it is a malware that we find. It is a real case, which is found in a company server, a malicious code. The code is obfuscated. This obfuscation is a method that the bad guys will use, because they know that most of the cybersecurity tool will use signature to detect attacks, and they will create, like, it is an encryption, but it's not really an encryption, but it's a way that they will change the code. And when the code enter your network, the cybersecurity which use or signature, they will see it, and they cannot do an analysis on that, because it is something like, it is not a real attack for them. But if you disobfuscate the code and you save the real code, this is what you are seeing on this code in red. You see that really what this code do, when it run, it will try to do some connection remotely. As we can see, wget command, it connect remotely on the IP address, and it download the file which name is xb.sh, and after that it will run the file on your network, and it will remove the file. And if you are not aware about that, you will never see that some bad thing is happening on your network. In real case, a level 3 guy will do this analysis. He will do code obfuscation, and he will see what this program is doing, and he will just tell you that you have to block the IP address which is on the screen. And after that, we will check on the firewall to see if you can see a lot of machine or some machine trying to communicate with this IP address. And if you saw some machine doing that, we will just isolate this machine, because there is something which is bad. For a level 4 guys, this is not enough. You have to understand what is happening, and how it can do to detect this threat and other variation of this threat. This is the reason why it will look for the file xb.sh. It will do a deep analysis on that. And as you can see on the screen, this file also, when you run, it will connect remotely to another server. You will download a file which name is mcoin, and this code is a Bitcoin mining program. The code will be downloaded. It will run on your machine, and this code will use 95% of the CPU of your server to mine Bitcoins, and after that, the result will be sent remotely to the remote command and control system using the port number 3333. And this is what the level 4 guy will see. And after that, he will try to understand how we can detect variation of this attack. Because by experience in the market, near 70% of malicious code are variation of existing code. This is the reason why this level 4 guy, he will take this code, he will run it in the sandbox, and after that, he will collect all the communications that the malicious code create. He will analyze that to create a new AI model to be able to detect this code and 70% of its variation. And when he create this, the AI models that are able to detect the new variation, it will just inject them on the cybersecurity tool, and this will help you to be able to detect this code and other kind of codes that are related to that. And to give some just a summary about experience between level 3 and level 4, level 3 guy, all of us guys are senior people. Level 3, you can do a deep investigation, but sometimes you will face a case which is unknown, and you have to send it to the company who created the product, and it can take a lot of time, and maybe this can come with a problem in your company. But the level 4 guys, you send it the file, you have the experience needed to do a deep analysis, to reproduce the attack scenario, to create AI model, to create new signatures that you will upload on the cybersecurity tool to help you to become better. And you cannot find most of you level 4 guys will be only found in cybersecurity company which create their own products.
So this is not only a question of expertise, but also the environment that they have to doing the retro engineering, create this feature.
Yeah, yes, level 4 guys, when a SOC have a level 4, it is the ways that they work is proactive. They want to be able to detect attack occurring today, but they also want to be able to detect variation of attack. Just thinking about that, if you are able to detect an attack and to detect the coming variation of this attack, if in the future you see another variation, you will be able to detect that very quickly, and this will help you to enforce the security of your network. If you are not able to do that, every time that there is a variation of a known attack, you have to your tool have to have a signature, and if you don't have it, unfortunately, this will lead to an attack on your network.
So by example, at StreamScan, we having a authority center. So we are in total opposition to having the level, but also to doing the return engineering of malware to creating new signature. So this is why we can propose a SOC 2 level for of expertise. Can you explain it a little bit, Karim? So you said a little bit earlier that 70% of the malware is the same families that we can recognize it. So why are we developing a patent around this fact?
Yeah, for the patent, the goal of the patent is really to detect new generation of malware, because today, every day, 1 million of new malware are detected by the antivirus company creating antivirus. And this is too much. Today, it is very hard to create signature to detect all of the kind of attack. This is the reason why we come with a new approach where we will take all the malwares, we will run them on a sandbox, and after that we'll identify all the communications that the malware do, and we will create AI models that will inject in our product. When the AI model is created, the model will listen to all communication coming of the network, and for each communication, the model has to decide if it is malicious or not. This is depending of the models that we created. And after that, if the model is thinking that maybe the traffic is malicious, it will generate an alert, and an expert, cybersecurity expert, have to take the alert to do some investigation about that and to conclude if it is a false positive or if it is a malicious activity. If it is a false positive, the expert will flag it as false positive. The AI product will do another training, and after the training, the next time that the same traffic is coming, the AI product will just consider that it is not an attack. But if the alert which is generated after investigation, the cybersecurity expert thinks that it is a real attack, you have to flag it to the cybersecurity product, and the next time that the same kind of thing happen, the tool will consider that it is really an attack, and they will take action like blocking the attack that you saw.
Thank you, Karim. So just to understanding that we combine the intelligence of our analysis with the intelligence of our technology. Why an integrated approach? So our modular strategy let us continuously anticipating and adapt our services to your unique challenges. Soon also to be SOC Level 2 certified, we guarantee rigorous compliance for defense organization. By partnering with us, you enjoy to having a single point of contact for all your cybersecurity tools and services, so you have no fragment contracts also. So our in-house cyber threat detection system, so our technology CDS. This is a XDR. It can combine an IPS, IDS, and NDR technology. We also have an endpoint protection, so EDR with the antivirus. We have the SIM log management. We having also a vulnerability scanning, and we offering the MDR and incident investigation that's come with the tool. So these proven components deliver true end-to-end protection for all the compliance or all the needs that you need in terms of cybersecurity for an organization. So our MXDR monitoring services. So in addition to developing your own technology, we also monitor our client asset through our Stream Shield monitoring service. One of our key differentiator is our technology. We are a technology agnostic. So our expert can evaluate all type of platform and can integrate the best of a breed third-party solution alongside our proprietary tool. So this flexibility let us tailor our offering to each client environment and guide them toward the optimal technology mix. So we can using, by example, our IPS IDS if a client already have a EDR to making sure then they're having all the technology in place. So and also in terms of active monitoring, why this is important about the requirement of cybersecurity standard is because the cybersecurity certification and regulatory requirements are increasingly monitoring active of monitoring IT systems. So this demand stems from the rise of cyber threats, which are becoming more frequent, sophisticated, and also targeted. Active monitoring do not only enable rapid detection of security incidents, but also all the collection of evidence, the documentation of response actions, and the demonstration of compliance with regulatory standards. Certified bodies and authorities recognize that the purely reactive posture is not longer sufficient. So continuous surveillance of network and application is now essential to prevent attacks, minimize the impact. So as the certification and compliance mandate. And also before going to the question session, so to resume why in 2025 a security operations center is essential. So today having a SOC in place is become essential for business security and also enable organizations to confront an increasingly complex and threatening cyber environment. So with the dramatic rise, both of the volume of sophisticated attacks, so Karim said earlier, we can see something around 1 million malware appears every day. So this is very important to having the real expertise in place to making sure that you always under control. So continuous 24/7 monitoring is vital to detect security incident as early as possible and respond effectively. So you need to understanding that a security operations sector delivers several key advantages. So first one is rapid detection and effectiveness response. So it can helping to identify and analyze threat in real time to helping the limit financial, legal, and reputational damage in the event of an attack. Also, it can helping you to comply with any compliance or obligation depending on the sector you're operating to. So it can assist companies in meeting legal obligations by ensuring full traceability of events and through the documentation of all response action, because now is not only to do the monitoring, but you need to demonstrating what you're doing. So you need to put on place some documentation depending of which certification that you assist to. And also it can helping you to having a proactive prevention. So you can leveraging threat intelligence, behavioral analytics, and also the combined with artificial intelligence, pardon me. So a security operations center can anticipate attack before they can occur and recommend tailored counter measurements. This is very important here. We having some tool in the market can having some automatic threat intelligence, but you need to understanding that real cybersecurity is not a question only of technology, but having also the real expertise to do the configuration in real time to always adjusting your technology in place. And we also have the protection of sensitive data. So the fact that having an expert team always, it safeguard an organization and also the customers. So a lot of customer right now asking what you need doing with the to the having real expertise in place, and it's just demonstrating that you have a good way of managing risks internally. So you just need to understand that in summary, a security operations center is just a strategic cornerstone that guarantee resilience, operational continuity, and compliance in the face of the ever-evolving cyber threat. So we appreciate your participation today. So we're having the question now. If you're having so many questions, you can write it down directly on the chat, or you can also just left your hand and we can letting you asking your question if you desire. We also can just entering into some question. Karim, I'm going to ask you some question that we see a lot with our clients actually. Okay. We just having Eva just put it down in the comments. Perfect. So we've seen a lot of market people having different questions. By example, if we're working into a manufacturing environment, if we need to having two different security operations center, it's preferable to having one to managing or monitoring.
The right thing to do when we have an operational technology network and the IT network is to have a global view of the security of your network. You have to have one SOC, and the SOC should be able to collect all the security alert coming from the OT part on the IT part. Because if you separate the two in two different SOC, a SOC will have a partial view of the cyber security of a network, and this is not the right thing to do. Just a one SOC and a global view of all the activity. And when we have to react, it is the same way, the same approach to manage all these devices.
Awesome. And when we're talking about the 24/7 coverage, so a lot of times how many example you want to conduct your own internal SOC? How many minimum expertise that you need internally, and which type of certification it asks?
So to have a good SOC, you need to have people having a lot of experience. People, for example, you have to have analysts having experience in IDS, IPS, network trust analysis, reverse engineering of malware, investigation using EDA technology, log, something like that, email security. You cannot have one person having all of this experience. This is the reason why the best thing to do if you, for sure, if your goal is to enforce your security, is to work of an external search, having people having a lot of experience that can work together to enforce your security. And in terms of certification, it's for me, uh, it's not a, it's not about the certification. It is about the experience of the guys. You can have a SOC analyst which work hard to enforce the security of the experience, and this is okay. But you can also also have some certification which can help you to have the basis, and after that you have to work hard to be able to improve your skills. For example, such kind of SOC that we can have in a SOC, I will talk about OSCP, CSSP, GCI, AI, something like that. But there is a lot of certification to help people to have basis on how to work on SOCs.
Good. And also one of the most common question, and I think that will be interesting just to elaborating a little bit on that, is a lot of clients asking, they want to have threat intelligence. When it comes to threat intelligence, you have the automated one and you also have the human one. So can you explain the differences and why we combine both of them together?
Okay.
So having a product.
Automated threat intelligence, just as a reminder, threat intelligence is a process where you see something which is happening, you don't know if it is a bad thing or if it is a malicious activity, and you want to better understand what is happening. In automated threat hunting, you have tools, product, which will take this alert and will do some correlation with other events and alerts that are generated by your cybersecurity tool, and it will try to take a conclusion to say, okay, after analyzing all of this event, I think that this is a bad thing. Take action on that. This is automated threat hunting. Manual threat hunting is your cybersecurity expert, mainly level 4 or level 3 uh, cybersecurity analysis will take the event, will create some rules to do some check and to do some validation to ensure that something is wrong. It is very important to mix the automated threat hunting and the manual threat hunting, because sometimes your tool will consider something which seems to be malicious. Your tool can consider that it is benign, but the humans who is doing the analysis will take more action on that, because he has the feeling that something is bad. This feeling, your AI machine cannot have this feeling, but the human can have it. And the right thing to do in cybersecurity company in terms of working on SOC is to use automated process for threat and manual one coming from your cybersecurity expert.
Awesome. And how a company deciding to want to externalize their security operations center, which top 5 criteria they must look when it comes to asking questions to do their choice?
For me, the most important question is to ask about your external company experience in terms of incident response. If your external company don't use to do incident response, they don't have experience in ransomware attack, handling the ransomware attack, or managing crises related to cybersecurity, it is a bad idea to work with them, because the days that you will face a major incident, they cannot help you. You have to check to ensure that this company have experience and they can help you the days that everything will go bad. After that, it is working is not matter of technology. There is a lot of product today which work, we do the job, but you have to check to ensure that this team have experience in doing some investigation. What profile of people they have? Do they have just people working on SIM logs, or they have also have people who are able to do some reverse engineering of malware, doing some network trust analysis, and so on. Check to see the experience and the profile of people on the SOC. Other things that you have to consider, the global experience, because sometimes if you work with a SOC company having just small company, maybe they don't have the experience to work with big company. What size of company they use to work with? What kind of attack they use to handle such kind of thing? You have to validate because you never know. Pricing is important, but pricing is not the most the criteria that you have to take into account. Uh, Firstly, because you never know. You can have some company on the market who have a low pricing, but the experience is very bad, and you can have other that have a strong experience. And the focus should be to check to ensure that the company have the experience, they have people, and they know how to work on handling cybersecurity incidents.
And we also see some different approaches when it comes to managing externally. Some companies can using their own platform, or also some regular stock, for example, can just using the platform of the client directly. Which one you recommend the most, or both approach are good? It's just depending on the business case.
Yeah, for me, I have to check the products that the company use. The question here is, I want to know if this product they work well, they are able to detect the attack on the network of the company. If it is okay, there is no need to replace them by another product. It is not a question of kind of product. If the product work, we will reuse them. But in case we see that the product are not able to detect attacks from today attack, we will advise the company to change and to go to other product. For example, if a company use a nitrogen detection system, which is mostly based on signature, this kind of product are not enough to protect company against the new generation of attack. In this kind of attack case, we'll advise the company to change the product by another one which use AI to detect anomaly and such kind of a new generation of attacks. Of course, if a company don't have the right product, we can. It is a good idea to work with an external company coming with their own product and tool to help them to enforce the security of the network.
Awesome. And when it comes to evolving into the regulatory and compliance requirements, so we're speaking a lot about the new obligations and company faces, and in 2025, this is just the beginning to having some obligation by sector. Also, your client can starting to asking you what you're having on place way before that I'm sharing the data. So can we explain in how example StreamScan by having ISO 27001, by having SOC 2 Type 2, and ulteriorly CMMC at the end of 2025, pardon me, how do we support a client in adapting to evolving regulatory and compliance requirements? How a client can benefit from this at StreamScan?
Yeah, first thing is when we, in terms of doing network security monitoring, we will do it in the way that it complies to most of the cybersecurity certification and the regulation of the market. For example, when you work with StreamScan, our monitoring is compliant to ISO 27001, SOC 2, CMMC, and other. And this will help you to show to the auditors that you have the right product, right tool, and the right people to monitor the security of your network. And this will help you to go fast in terms of complying to this certification, but this will also reduce the cost of certification, because when the auditor will come, you will see that a lot of things are still in place and they don't have to check it again for you.
Awesome. And a question very important here. This is always one of the top 5 questions that your client asking when it comes to a choice. So how do we manage, example, a critical incident, and also how we communicated with the client during a crisis situation, by example? Can you give us just an example of a real case scenario that already happened?
Yeah, for managing crisis, StreamScan, we start by doing incident response. We used to do that. First thing that we have to do is to contain the incident, because we don't want this incident to spread on the network. For that, we'll help the company to identify how the attack occur. We'll come with our IDS IPS product. We'll connect it on the network. The tool will be able to identify if a bad guy is on the network or not. And after that, we'll identify all the devices that are compromised, and we will isolate them from the network. And after that, we'll work on eradication, fixing the recreating the machine, uploading data, and coming back to the production. Sometimes, for example, for cruises, sometimes what we see, the company don't have backups. And if they don't have a backup, this can be very hard. In such kind of case, sometimes we have to talk with the threat actor to negotiate, for example, to have the ransomware decryption key. And after that, if the company decide to even if we don't advise the company to do that, sometimes this is the only ways that the company can, the only things that we can do to continue to work. And in this kind of case, if we have access to the decryption key, we will create a sandbox, test the data, and show that everything is okay before coming back on the production. And mostly what I about the ransomware, the attack and the crisis, most of the time, the main thing that people have to manage is the communication, because you never know. Sometimes you face an attack and the people are talking about that on the news, and this can defocus you. And you have to, as StreamScan will come, will help you, the company, to focus on the communication, but to also work on hardening the system, rebuilding the system very quickly, and to come back to production as soon as possible, because the thing which is very important for a company when he faces an attack is to fix his system and come back to the production as soon as possible, and to minimize the impacts.
Exactly. In this, we always organizing meeting with the clients to making sure that everybody knows what they need to do in case of a crisis, and to establishing the good communication protocol. So it can be by any type. It can be by the internal protocol communication the client can already have by phone, by email, or other ways.
It is
So
very
another one
important.
also that the client.
It is very important for a company to have an incident response plan. The plan will help you. If you have a plan, this will help you to go very fast. But if you don't have a plan for incident response, it is time to create one, because it is very useful when you face a crisis.
And also to test it. What is the most important
For
thing
sure.
is also to make it test it, because you can see that if you're having the good people in a good place, sometimes we think that maybe the CEO will be the person in charge and stuff like that. But in terms of crisis, maybe emotionally can be affected by the crisis. So we just want to make tests to make sure that everybody is conscious and have the good reflex when it comes to being the crisis mode. So also, because we are a research and development firm and client want to see for a long partnership into when they're choosing a security operation center. So how at StreamScan we stay ahead emerging threats, and also we continuously improving detection capabilities.
Okay, could you repeat, please?
Yes. So how at StreamScan we always stay ahead emerging cyber threat, and also we continuously improve our detection capabilities. Do we assist in?
Yeah, for that, it is a research and development, working hard to be able to understand what are the threat for today, but the coming threat on next year, to the next year, what kind of threat we think that will happen, and we will continue to create new model and a new AI agent, new AI process and tool to be able to detect this kind of attack. I will say it is a continuously research and development to stay ahead, to be able to anticipate new generation of attack and block them.
Awesome. Also, we always say this is important to stay ahead, to always give good formation to our analysts, but also the clients wants to evolving with us. And I think a good partner in cybersecurity, helping the client to helping to getting more maturity in terms of cybersecurity. So as StreamScan, what we're doing with our client, what is our approach to sharing the best practices and also the security insight with our client who using our services?
The communication, I would say it is a regular communication. Every time that there is an important vulnerability on the market, we will do some communication. We'll notify all of our customers to tell them what is happening, how they can face such kind of situation. We also share regularly information to our customer about attacks, and we also meet them periodically to present the report of the analysis that we do it for them, and what are the recommendations that we can provide them to enforce the security, and so on, something like that.
Mhm. Exactly. And also we're helping, we can, it depending on which people, then we want to give some information. So we can helping the CEO, CFO to having their own problem and be integrated with the full team. And also, because we're doing some incident response since 2011, so we're having the expertise to see what's happening directly on the field, so we can have some reflex when it comes to some stuff to detect and be proactive. So can you describe just a little bit the approach then to having a continuous improvement and lesson that we learned from past incident, by example?
For lesson learned, we work with a lot of case of ransomware. Today, when we have a new case of ransomware that we have to handle, we know how the threat actor, how they enter the companies. Most of the time, they will use brute force attack. They can use or run some remote attacks. They will target your VPN server or your RGP server. They will send an email. Someone will click on that. We use all this experience to improve the ways that we monitor or we manage incident for the company. For example, the incident, when we face a new incident, we can very quickly identify how the bad guy get on your network, even if we don't finish the investigation on logs or on cybersecurity alerts that we saw in your company, because we have experience on that. If we see that the domain controller is compromised and overmatching, very quickly we will ask to check if there is a new account which is created. We'll check to see if there is a malicious tool which is installed on this network. If we identify it, we know that this is because the bad guys come using email and so on, something like that. And this is the approach that we use. Our experience on the field and the experience that we have in network security monitoring, we put all of them together, and this will help us to be very fast when we have to manage cybersecurity incidents for companies.
Thank you so much for all these answers. So I hope that you're having a great session today. And if you have any question, you can just asking us. So we have the email address that you can send your questions. That will be a pleasure for us to responding. So I wish everybody a good day and see you for the next webinar.